First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Wilson. They're able to locate Wilson. A gain of 22. Yeah, on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Gonna look deep for Wilson, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And an alley to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hit.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return will stop right around the 25. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
14.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They run it with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson throwing here complete to Boyle. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. To throw is Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check, go 14.
From the shotgun, Wilson. They'll find Metcalf. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him plays like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Wilson now, operating from the gun. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. This is Carson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
14.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now it's Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it they're picking up the first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jalen Ferguson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And avoids the contact by sliding. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Switch up. 36 power.
Throwing again. Wilson stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Myers connects on the PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of... Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And some room to run now. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly...
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to make things a bit more respectable. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ferguson getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
At the Seahawks 10-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson steps away. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
14.
To throw again, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And here's Wilson, operating from the gun. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Here's Thomas. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
Here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
I got him.
Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Here I come.
Jackson, option right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Marquise Blair, 2nd-round pick from Utah, there to bat it away. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They run. It's Mark Ingram. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Throwing is Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. He's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Alert. 52.
On 3rd down, Wilson steps away to his left. Able to get this to Gordon. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 19.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this with both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall. ball right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Myers' kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Ingram again. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Left coming, left coming. So we got man. 49. 49's the Mike. Mike's 49. Mike's 49. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, Hank.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Watch the boot.
To throw on 3rd down. Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for the Ravens. 49 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.